Hello, welcome back to the channel. We are going to talk about something very tender, overcoming resentment in relationship. This is for when you have resentment about a relationship that's very important to you and you're intending to keep it. Hit like, subscribe, and the bell. Resentment arises when we feel wronged or perceive that someone has hurt us. It's a reaction that comes up often in times where we feel like we've overgiven and we aren't getting enough back in return. Maybe you're withdrawing, using sarcasm, not being as intimate and affectionate as you once were. These might be signs that you're feeling resentful. So let's discuss how we move past these feelings when we've identified them and we want to work through this with our partner or someone we really care about. Of course, things aren't going to change overnight. It probably took a while to get here. It's going to take a little while to undo this. Think of relationships more like the pacing of gardening than the pacing of email or the internet. You don't click buttons and it's done. Humans aren't robotic and machines. They're more like plants. It takes time. It takes different ingredients, nutrients, depending on the context and the environment around you. Importantly, start to reflect on your part of this. What did you do to overgive? Where were you saying yes when you really meant no? What was that about? Is that something you've done in past relationships, in your childhood? Start to reflect on what was your role. Importantly, giving yourself empathy for your role in it will help you give your partner empathy for their role in it. So this could be a friend, a partner, someone very close to you. In these types of situations, often we ask you to step outside your own perspective, walk in another person's shoes, and give them the type of empathy and compassion that you would like to be given. Now, not the exact same words because everybody likes to receive things differently. So when you go to a restaurant, often you're at a table full of 10 people, not everyone gets the same meal. The same thing in conversations. Not every way of talking to someone is going to hit home. So you have to attune to the person you're with and give them the empathy that you imagine they might most want to receive based on what you know about them. Practice forgiveness and moving on, not for the other person's sake, but for your own sake, especially if you're committed and going to continue working through this with them. This is going to be a lot more difficult, easier said than done. It's going to take sometimes hundreds of inner conversations about how to move on, how to give yourself compassion, and how to forgive them so you can move on. Start to think about in what ways is what I'm feeling and thinking true, and in what ways am I maybe over-exaggerating. In the ways that it's true, we have to take that and discern from that what choices we're going to make. Don't get stuck, rather be curious and a field researcher observing the situation, taking like a helicopter view and not actually sitting in your own place only, but seeing it from all perspectives. And this brings us to self-care, something that most of us aren't taught, but if you ever have been on an airplane, you know that they have that saying, put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on others. If you're constantly helping other people, you are going to deplete yourself and then be of help to no one. So it's really important to practice self-care in whatever that looks like for you. Exercise, eating balanced meals, cooking, hiking, yoga. What are your favorite ways to practice self-care? If none of this works, it's important to get an outside perspective. See someone who's a licensed marriage and family therapist. See someone who's in training for MFT programs or couples counseling. These people can help bring a non-judgmental view on your current perspective. The goal is to stay in the relationship you're in, so we're trying to overcome resentment and not punish one another. Resentment doesn't have to be the end of a relationship that's otherwise healthy. It could actually be a catalyst for a new relationship and a new revival of something that you both want. Get our free communication download below, subscribe, like, hit the bell, write a comment. I love to read them with your questions or video topics. Say hi. Catch you next week.